to get my back blown out in peace. You think I got time to talk about the divorce that's a year old?
Teyana Taylor walked into Aaron Pierre's birthday party expecting a night full of love, laughter, and celebration. She came dressed to impress, her energy radiant, her smile warm. This was supposed to be a special moment for Aaron, someone she stood beside through countless highs and lows. But what happened that night left everyone speechless, and Teyana devastated. No one expected the night to take such a dark turn, and by the time it was over, Teyana was walking out alone, head held high, but visibly shaken. Cameras caught just enough. Her sudden exit, her tight lips, the cold distance between her and Aaron. And now the entire internet is buzzing, wondering what really went down behind those velvet ropes. The event was supposed to be intimate, just a curated guest list of Aaron's closest friends, fellow actors, and industry allies. It was held at an upscale rooftop venue, all glammed up with candlelit tables, live jazz, and panoramic views of the city skyline. Teyana arrived early, as always, supporting Aaron like she always does. But those who were there said they noticed it right away. The vibe was off. Aaron barely acknowledged her. She stood in the corner, sipping her drink, barely speaking. Guests whispered. Some said Aaron spent most of the night talking to a particular actress he worked with on his last film, completely ignoring Teyana's presence. And then came the moment that changed everything. Eyewitnesses say Teyana was approached by someone close to Aaron, possibly his manager or a longtime friend, and they exchanged sharp words. No one heard exactly what was said, but Teyana's face said it all. Her body stiffened. Her expression went blank. And then, as if it wasn't shocking enough, security quietly stepped in. Within minutes, she was being escorted toward the elevator, not shouting, not crying, just walking away with quiet dignity. Aaron didn't follow. He didn't even look her way. That part was caught on camera, and it's what hurt fans the most. Their relationship has always been complicated. From the outside, it looked passionate, red carpet kisses, cryptic Instagram stories, occasional public love notes. But those who followed Teyana long enough know her love life has never been simple. She's been through betrayal, heartbreak, healing, and more betrayal. And with Aaron, there were always whispers. Fans picked up on subtle signs. Teyana doing the heavy lifting, always showing up, while Aaron seemed detached, emotionally distant. He's never really posted her. She's never met all of his family. And now, it seems like those little cracks were signs of something much deeper. Teyana's family is reportedly livid. Her mother, who has always been protective, was seen leaving Teyana's home early the next morning, looking visibly upset. Sources close to the family say her mom called the situation a complete humiliation, and that it's time Teyana wakes up and sees Aaron for who he really is. Her sister added fuel to the fire with a cryptic Instagram post. You can't keep giving your love to someone who keeps showing you they don't deserve it. And that post blew up. Thousands of fans echoed the sentiment. Meanwhile, Aaron's family has stayed silent. No statements, no apologies, nothing. And that silence is only making things worse. The internet isn't staying quiet, though. The moment the footage dropped, it went viral. People are angry. The hashtag started trending within hours. Hashtag justice for Teyana. Hashtag she deserves better. Hashtag stand with Teyana. One fan wrote, "She walked into that room like a queen and walked out like a ghost. How dare he let her be treated like that?" Others began posting slowed-down clips from the video, analyzing every look, every gesture, trying to figure out what happened before the cameras started rolling. And it's not just fans who are chiming in, celebs are noticing too. A few influencers and actors have subtly liked posts in support of Teyana. Some even reposted her sister's quote. There are also theories, so many theories. Some say Aaron is seeing someone else, and that the party was just his way of signaling the end without having to say the words. Others think Teyana might have confronted someone at the party, maybe someone who had been disrespecting her for a while. But the one that's hitting hardest? That Aaron knew she wasn't welcome and let her come anyway, just so she'd be humiliated in public. It's a cold theory, but after watching the footage, people are starting to believe it. Especially when they noticed Aaron didn't even glance at her when she walked away. And then came the twist no one saw coming. A silent black square on Teyana's Instagram. No caption, just black. And then, shortly after, a leaked voice note surfaced, allegedly from Teyana herself. Her voice was trembling. She said, "I can't believe he just stood there and let that happen. I was humiliated, and he didn't even flinch." Her words were raw, heartbreaking. It wasn't just about the party, it was about everything. About feeling alone in a relationship, about giving your all and getting nothing back. She talked about all the times she stayed silent, protected his image, defended him when she should have been defending herself. And still, that night, he chose not to stand by her. What made things even more painful, Aaron's response, or the stunning lack of one. He posted a polished birthday recap on Instagram, flashing smiles with his boys, hugging guests, raising champagne glasses. The music was loud, the lights were bright, and his grin? Unbothered. He thanked the fans, shouted out the DJ, even posed with some industry names. But there was no mention of Teyana. No tag. No glimpse of her in the video. Not even a vague thank you tossed her way. That silence? It hit like a slap. It echoed louder than any speech could have. And fans noticed immediately. The internet caught fire. The contrast between her quiet heartbreak and his loud celebration was too brutal to ignore. It felt like emotional whiplash. People flooded his comments with raw outrage. You let her down. You moved on like she never mattered. And this is how you treat someone who had your back? It wasn't just disappointment. It was betrayal. But it didn't end there. Just when things seemed like they might settle, the internet exploded again. A DM screenshot surfaced and started spreading like wildfire. Allegedly sent by someone close to Aaron, the message made a jaw-dropping claim. Teyana was never even invited to the party. That she showed up on her own, thinking she was supporting her man, trying to stand by him on his big night. But the truth? According to that message, she walked straight into a trap. A setup. A cold, premeditated betrayal. If that claim holds even a hint of truth, it flips the entire story upside down. Because it doesn't just mean Aaron ignored her, it means he may have orchestrated her embarrassment. He may have stood back and watched her walk into a room that was never meant for her, surrounded by people who already knew she wasn't welcome. Fans were speechless, furious, heartbroken, because if that's how it went down, the whispers turned into a roar. People started calling it a coward's breakup, a calculated move to end things without having the guts to say it out loud. Instead of a conversation, he allegedly let the spectacle do the dirty work. And the cruelest part? Teyana never lost her cool. She didn't fire back. She didn't go live. She didn't expose him, even though the internet begged her to. She just walked away. Head high, heart bruised, dignity intact. And that silence? It was deafening. Because sometimes, the quietest exit is the strongest response. And in this case, her restraint screamed louder than any dragged-out post ever could. It didn't just show her strength. It revealed her heartbreak, her boundaries, and her refusal to play in the mud. The people who love Teyana, her fans, her family, her circle of ride-or-dies, they're paying close attention now. Watching every post, every unfollow, every silence. Because they've seen this story before, too many times. They've watched Black women pour love, patience, and forgiveness into men who couldn't even offer them basic respect in return. They've seen queens stand tall for partners who left them out in the cold. And this time, they're praying the pattern breaks. That Teyana finally, fully chooses herself. That she doesn't go back to someone who couldn't even look her way or say her name on his birthday, a night that should have been shared, but instead exposed everything. That party, that single night, has become more than just a celebration. It's a rupture point. A quiet but powerful line drawn in the sand. A moment that shifted everything. Not just in their relationship, but in how people are now looking at Aaron. The man who once held her heart, but stood frozen as she walked away. The man who didn't flinch, didn't reach, didn't even try. He let her leave with dignity, but without closure. He didn't chase her. He didn't clear her name. He didn't check if she made it home safe. And now, his silence is deafening. It screams of either guilt or indifference, or maybe a kind of pride that refuses to bend. No one can say for sure. But one thing is certain. That silence? It's starting to feel like his final answer. What comes next? That's the question sitting heavy on everyone's chest. Will Teyana speak her truth? Will Aaron finally break his silence with remorse, or with denial? Or will this story fade into the background? Just another painful chapter left open and unresolved? But regardless of what he says or doesn't say, one thing is clear as day. Teyana doesn't have to beg for love that should have been given freely. She doesn't need to convince anyone of her worth. She's already moved with grace, fought with loyalty, and carried herself with more strength than most could muster. And if Aaron couldn't see the gift he had in front of him, then maybe he never really deserved it. So now we wait. We scroll. We analyze every post, every lyric, every pause. And most of all, we hope she keeps choosing herself. That she picks peace over pain, clarity over confusion. Because if that birthday party taught the world anything, it's this. Even the strongest queens get tired. Tired of waiting, tired of hurting, tired of holding it all together. And when they finally walk away, when they really walk away, they never look back. Not once. Not ever.